Okay, so, there are these dates that just get etched deep into our collective memory, right?
Absolutely. Moments that just undeniable shift things. Global consciousness, even.
Exactly. And September 11th, 2001,
Hmm.
well, that's certainly one of them. For so many of us, uh, it defines a generation, a huge turning point.
A moment that sent ripples everywhere, across the planet.
Yeah, completely. And today, that's what we're doing. We're embarking on this deep dive into that momentous day.
Hmm.
Our mission here is really to meticulously explore the primary source material we have, looking at what it says about the events of that day.
And its consequences, both immediate and, well, long-term.
Right, exactly. The immediate fallout and the profound long-term stuff, too. We're committed to, extracting those key insights, understanding not just what happened.
But really getting a handle on what came next.
Yeah, directly from the information provided. Trying to cut through some of the noise, get right to the core facts.
Well, but with that analytical depth.
That's the plan, giving you that depth you need.
And our main source for this deep dive, it's titled September 11th, A World Transformed by Terror. It really serves as a vital historical record.
Okay.
What's, I think, particularly powerful about it is how clearly it lays out the progression. Such a complex, devastating day.
Yeah.
But it provides this clear, factual sequence of events and then the aftermath. It really helps you grasp the sheer magnitude of it all.
That pivotal moment in history.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the journey we want to take you on today.
Oh,
It is obviously a very serious topic,
of course.
but our aim is to make it accessible, right? To inform you thoroughly, but hopefully without overwhelming you.
A guided journey through the facts.
Exactly. Consider this your guide, making sure you walk away with a really comprehensive understanding of what happened and, crucially, why it changed so much.
Okay.
So let's set the scene. Imagine waking up. It's a seemingly ordinary Tuesday, September 11th, 2001.
Mm-hmm. Crisp bottom morning for many on the East Coast, probably.
Right. A routine day. But it was swiftly, brutally transformed into, well, as our source unequivocally states, the deadliest terror attack in U.S. history.
Just the scale of it. It's
Yeah.
hard to comprehend even now.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
The unexpected nature of such a coordinated assault on American soil.
Hmm.
It just sent these shockwaves, didn't it?
Instantly. Not just across the U.S., but like reverberating globally almost immediately.
Yeah, it was a moment that just defied comprehension in those first hours, those first days, a real moment of collective disbelief.
And it's important to understand this wasn't some isolated incident, not a random act.
No.
Our source details it as a meticulously coordinated assault,
Mm.
executed with chilling precision.
Chilling is the word.
Yeah. It involved 4 commercial passenger planes, all tragically hijacked by a total of 19 Islamist terrorists.
19.
19 men, members of the radical al-Qaeda network, and the immediate human cost. It was just staggering.
Yeah.
A loss on a scale that really underscores how unprecedented these attacks were. Nearly 3,000 innocent people lost their lives in a single morning.
Nearly 3,000.
And that number, it's not just a statistic, is it? It represents thousands of individual stories, families just shattered, communities changed forever.
Absolutely.
It was a direct, calculated assault designed specifically to inflict maximum terror, maximum damage. And it fundamentally altered that sense of security, not just for a nation, but really for the world.
And as our source really highlights, the repercussions of that morning stretched far, far beyond U.S. borders. This wasn't just contained.
Not at all.
It was an event that fundamentally altered global politics. It reshaped military strategies, introduced entirely new ways of thinking about security.
Paradigms we're still grappling with today, really.
We really are. It wasn't merely an American tragedy, was it? It was a global turning point. It redefined threats, responses, everything on an international scale. We'll definitely be diving into those profound ripple effects in much more detail later on. But it's just crucial to understand right from the start that 9/11 ignited changes that would define an entire era.
Absolutely essential context.
Okay, so let's unpack this. With devastating precision, as the source allows, it gives us this minute-by-minute breakdown of how these coordinated attacks unfolded.
Yeah, a chilling timeline.
It really is. It underscores not just the speed, but the synchronized, deliberate nature of it all.
Even now, reading it, it retains its power to shock.
It does. And this is where the sheer scale of the planning becomes so starkly evident, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And to truly grasp the horror, you need to understand the sequence, how each piece, each flight, contributed to the overall devastation.
Okay.
The source meticulously details each hijacked flight. It paints this picture of a morning just spiraling into chaos across multiple locations.
Let's go through them.
Okay. First, at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time, American Airlines Flight 11 strikes.
Okay, Flight 11.
This was a Boeing 767. It had departed from Boston's Logan Airport, heading for Los Angeles. You know, a standard transcontinental flight.
Just a normal flight.
Totally normal. But instead, it was intentionally crashed right into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City.
8:46 a.m. The North Tower.
The impact was immediate, catastrophic.
Yes.
Tore a huge hole in the upper floors, sent this monstrous plume of smoke, debris, billowing into that clear September sky.
God. And for people on the ground initially.
Confusion, right?
Total confusion, desperate uncertainty. Was it an accident? A small plane, maybe? Nobody could grasp the true, terrifying nature of what was happening yet.
Not yet.
Then, just 17 minutes later, 9:03 a.m., the second strike.
Yes.
United Airlines Flight 175.
Okay. Flight 175, also from Boston.
Also from Boston. Also heading to L.A., another Boeing 767.
But its trajectory took it crashing into the South Tower of the World Trade Center.
The South Tower. And
Yep.
this one was seen live, wasn't it?
Exactly. The timing, the visual impact, uniquely horrifying. This impact was filmed live, broadcast instantly to millions, maybe billions, around the world, people watching in just stunned disbelief.
Seeing it happen.
Seeing a second commercial airliner full of people intentionally fly into a skyscraper, it just irrevocably shattered any doubt, didn't it?
Yeah, any idea it could be an accident was gone.
Completely gone. It made it unequivocally clear. This was no accident. America was under attack. A coordinated, deliberate act of terror playing out live on a global stage.
And that initial shock, that confusion after the first plane,
Yeah.
it just morphed into terror.
Widespread terror and disbelief. Yeah.
But the attacks weren't just in New York.
No, absolutely not. About half an hour later, 9:37 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77 crashed.
Flight 77, where did that one hit?
This was a Boeing 757. Departed from Washington Dulles, also supposed to go to L.A. Instead, it was steered directly into the Pentagon.
The Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, right outside D.C.
Exactly. The headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense. I mean, one of the most heavily guarded buildings in the world. A symbol of American military might.
And a plane hit it.
The fact that a hijacked plane could penetrate its defenses, it just highlighted the audacious planning, the far-reaching nature of the attack, extending the terror beyond New York right to the nation's capital.
Yeah, it caused a partial collapse.
A partial collapse of the building's outer ring, yeah, and massive fires. It just added another layer of horror, of national vulnerability to everything that was unfolding.
And there was one more flight, Flight 93.
Yes, finally United Airlines Flight 93. A Boeing 757 again, departed Newark, New Jersey, heading for San Francisco.
Okay.
At approximately 10:03 a.m., it crashed into a field, Stony Creek Township, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Not its target, though.
Not its target. And the story of Flight 93, it's one of extraordinary bravery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Resistance in the face of just unimaginable terror.
Absolutely.
Our source indicates the passengers and crew, they learned what was happening, those phone calls you mentioned earlier.
Right. They knew about the World Trade Center, the Pentagon.
Exactly, through airphones, cell phones, and they actively attempted to regain control of the aircraft from the hijackers.
They fought back.
They fought back. This heroic struggle, this desperate, courageous revolt, it ultimately prevented the hijackers from reaching their likely intended target.
Which the source suggests was.
Either the White House or the U.S. Capitol building, right in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So the selfless actions of those people on board Flight 93, they undoubtedly saved countless lives, prevented even more symbolic human devastation in the Capitol.
An incredible sacrifice. A powerful testament to courage.
Truly, in the face of pure evil.
So when you lay all of that out, that sequence,
Yeah.
the sheer speed is just astonishing.
It really is a rapid succession of devastating moments, left the world reeling.
Unable to process it all. Let's just walk through that official timeline again, the one our source provides, just to grasp the pace.
Okay. The official timeline, it paints the stark, almost dizzying picture.
Right.
8:46 a.m., Flight 11 hits the North Tower.
Okay.
17 minutes later, 9:03 a.m., Flight 175 hits the South Tower.
Yeah, right.
That live confirmation for the world.
Yeah.
Then, 9:37 a.m., Flight 77 crashes into the Pentagon. The attack expands to D.C.
Right. And then
The collapses.
the collapses began. Terrifying, largely unanticipated. At 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapses completely.
The South Tower hits second, falls first. falls first. Just 56 minutes after impact, it crumbles into this colossal plume of dust and debris.
Unbelievable. 56 minutes.
4 minutes later, 10:03 a.m., Flight 93 crashes in Pennsylvania, that act of heroism.
Okay.
And then finally, 10:28 a.m., the North Tower collapses.
The first tower hit.
The first tower hit, it collapsed 102 minutes after the initial impact.
Wow. So a bit longer, but still incredibly fast.
Incredibly short time between impacts and collapses, yeah. Especially the South Tower falling first. It just adds this profound dimension to the horror.
These weren't slow decays.
Not at all. The speed of these collapses, after sustaining that immense damage, the impacts, the raging fires fueled by jet fuel.
Yeah, and office contents, everything.
Exactly. It turns these supposedly unyielding modern structures into piles of rubble in mere minutes.
Just terrifying. A terrifying illustration of the power unleashed. It defied engineering expectations, didn't it?
Completely. And just added to the global shock and disbelief.
Okay, so we've gone through the timeline, the tragic sequence. Our attention naturally shifts now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To the who. Who was behind this meticulously planned devastation?
Right. The architects of terror.
Our source points clearly, identifying the calculated minds that orchestrated it all.
And the level of planning, the coordination by Osama bin Laden and his organization, Al-Qaeda, it was immense.
Years in the making.
Years. Our source is unequivocal. These were not spontaneous acts, not just a few disgruntled individuals. This was the culmination of years of meticulous preparation.
Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda.
Yep.
The masterminds.
Yes. Operating with a clear hierarchy, a long-term strategic vision, and those 19 men who carried out the attacks.
Yeah.
Not randomly selected, highly indoctrinated, divided into 4 distinct groups, one for each plane.
So precise. Speaks volumes about the planning.
Absolutely. And our source highlights these guys had prepared for years. Extensive training, flight instruction right here in the U.S. even.
Right here.
Ideological indoctrination, detailed logistical arrangements, everything needed for such a complex, multi-pronged attack.
And they entered the U.S. under various pretexts. Blending in.
Exactly. Blending into society, avoiding suspicion while they laid the groundwork, chilling.
And the method.
Yeah.
The source mentions the tools they used.
Yeah, what's particularly chilling about their method, as detailed in the source, is the simplicity, yet the devastating effectiveness. Basic knives and box cutters.
Knives and box cutters, that's it.
That's primarily it. Seemingly rudimentary weapons, but enough to overpower flight crews, passengers, exploiting vulnerabilities in airport security at the time.
Which were very different back then.
Totally different. Before 9/11, security was nowhere near as stringent as today, right? Cockpit doors weren't reinforced. Screening was less thorough.
And the idea of using a plane as a missile.
Almost unthinkable. So the terrorists, they leveraged these oversights. They turned commercial airliners, symbols of travel, freedom, into instruments of mass destruction.
Transforming the ordinary into weapons.
Exactly. It just underscores the premeditation, the cold, calculating nature of it all.
Yeah.
Exploiting systemic weaknesses to achieve just extraordinary devastation.
And that devastation.
Yeah.
The immediate shock was compounded, wasn't it, by the horrifying toll on human lives and those iconic structures crumbling.
Deeply, profoundly human.
Yeah.
Affecting thousands immediately and so many more in the years after.
Let's talk about those numbers. The victims.
Our source provides a stark, tragic account. Approximately 2,977 people died that day.
2,977. And that's excluding the hijackers.
Excluding the 19 hijackers, yes. And this figure covers people from all walks of life, right? Office workers in the towers, passengers, crew on the flights, military personnel, civilians at the Pentagon.
Everyday people.
Everyday people.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond the fatalities, the source reports more than 6,000 injured, many severely, immediate physical trauma, lifelong psychological scars.
Yeah.
And a particularly tragic aspect, the source highlights the immense sacrifice of hundreds of rescue workers.
The first responders.
Firefighters, police officers, paramedics, rushing into danger without hesitation, trying to save lives, contain the disaster.
Many died when the towers collapsed.
Many lost their own lives in the line of duty, yeah. Caught in that unthinkable devastation, their heroism, their sacrifice, just a profound testament to their dedication.
But the human cost didn't stop on September 11th itself, did it?
No, absolutely not. Our source reveals this more insidious long-term consequence. Many thousands of people later became gravely ill.
From the exposure, the dust and smoke.
Exactly. From prolonged exposure to the toxic environment created by the collapse. The air in lower Manhattan was thick with pulverized debris, smoke, hazardous materials, asbestos, lead, carcinogens. For weeks, months.
A long-term public health crisis.
Devastating. Respiratory illnesses, chronic coughs, asthma, World Trade Center cough became common, and then years later, even decades,
Cancers?
various cancers, yeah. Leukemia, multiple myeloma, thyroid cancer emerged in significant numbers. The attacks continued to claim lives, impact health for years.
Decades. An invisible toll.
An invisible toll, enduring suffering for those exposed. A stark reminder that the impact stretches far beyond the moment of impact itself.
It's truly hard to process.
Yeah.
And those towers, symbols of global commerce, architectural icons, our source makes it clear they both collapsed in under an hour after being hit.
Well, slightly longer for the North Tower, but incredibly fast overall.
Right. Still, the speed of that structural failure.
Yeah.
It stunned everyone, experts included.
It did. It was a horrifying spectacle, broadcast live. And our source notes, despite their size, their robust construction, they succumbed to that combination of factors.
It's damage from the impasse.
Severe structural damage, yes. And then the immense heat of the fires, fueled by thousands of gallons of jet fuel, plus all the office contents.
Furniture, paper, equipment.
Right, reaching temperatures far beyond typical building fires, gradually weakening the steel structures.
Until they couldn't hold anymore.
Exactly. South Tower at 9:59 a.m., 56 minutes after impact. North Tower at 10:28 a.m., 102 minutes after impact. The sheer volume of material coming down in seconds. Unprecedented.
And that contributed to the health crisis, too, all that debris.
Significantly, yeah.
And it wasn't just the two main towers, was it? There was Building 7.
Right. Our source adds that crucial detail. Building 7, or WTC-7, a 47-story skyscraper, a major office building across the street.
Not hit by a plane?
Critically, no, not directly hit by a plane. But it also collapsed later that day, 5:20 p.m.
Why did it collapse?
Due to extensive fires, raging for hours, ignited by debris from the collapsing North Tower and spreading unchecked.
So the fires brought it down, too.
That's the conclusion of official investigations, like the one by NIST. Uncontrolled fires spreading throughout, combined with some structural damage from the debris earlier. The heat caused critical steel elements to weaken and fail, leading to this progressive, catastrophic collapse.
Wow. Even a building not directly hit.
It just underscores the scale of destruction, that devastating ripple effect from the initial impacts. Shows how the fires could compromise even structures not directly hit.
So, okay. What does all this mean for the world beyond that tragic day? The source talks about an immediate dramatic shift, doesn't it? Global policy, security.
A pivotal turning point, irrevocably reshaping international relations, domestic governance, the everyday lives of millions. Profound consequences.
Let's get into those consequences.
They represent this complete reorientation of national and international priorities, a direct, comprehensive response to this unprecedented threat.
So first up.
First and foremost, our source highlights the immediate initiation of the war on terror.
The war on terror. Not a conventional war, though.
No, a broad global effort to identify, disrupt, defeat terrorist organizations wherever they might operate. It fundamentally redefined U.S. foreign policy.
Shifting focus from state-on-state conflicts
to this more diffuse, persistent threat from non-state actors, extremist ideologies, a long-term, sustained commitment across multiple fronts, intelligence, law enforcement, military action, diplomacy, across dozens of countries.
It's directly stemming from that, Afghanistan.
Yes. The Afghanistan War started October 2001, just weeks after 9/11.
The objective.
Specifically targeting al-Qaeda, the group responsible for 9/11, and the Taliban regime in Afghanistan who were harboring them.
Because they wouldn't hand over bin Laden.
Exactly. This military intervention quickly dismantled the Taliban's rule, severely disrupted al-Qaeda. But it also marked the beginning of America's longest war.
2 decades.
2 decades, fundamentally altering the geopolitical landscape of Central Asia, the Middle East. A swift military response aimed right at the terrorists and their state sponsors.
And domestically here in the U.S. Big changes, too.
Huge changes. The creation of the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, in 2002.
A massive restructuring.
Massive. Not just a new agency, but a sweeping reorganization of federal efforts to prevent future attacks, protect the nation.
Consolidating different agencies.
Over 20 different federal agencies and departments, yeah. All under one umbrella. Border security, emergency response, cybersecurity, intelligence analysis.
All brought together.
Emphasizing coordination, intelligence sharing, prevention like never before, a direct acknowledgement of those perceived failures in sharing intel before 9/11.
And for ordinary people, probably the most visible consequence, airport security.
Oh, absolutely. The source explicitly highlights this massive change. Before 9/11, airports were just different.
You could go right to the gate, almost.
Pretty much. Screening was relatively lax. Post 9/11, that all changed virtually overnight.
The TSA?
The Transportation Security Administration, yeah. Created specifically for travel security. We saw full-body scans, liquid restrictions, taking shoes off, enhanced baggage screening, reinforced cockpit doors.
The whole experience transformed.
Completely. An intricate dance of security layers. And it was global, wasn't it? Countries everywhere adopted similar measures.
Yeah, and then there was legislation, the Patriot Act.
Yes. The Patriot Act, passed by Congress incredibly quickly, just weeks after the attacks, October 2001.
And its purpose.
Our source notes, it significantly expanded government surveillance powers, passed with overwhelming bipartisan support in that urgent moment.
Aimed at preventing future attacks.
Right. Giving law enforcement, intelligence agencies new tools, expanded wiretapping, access to financial records, data collection, more intel sharing between agencies.
But controversial, too.
Very controversial. Seen by supporters as essential, but sparked huge debate about civil liberties, privacy, that balance between security and freedom. A conversation still going on today.
A rapid legislative response to the fear of the moment.
Exactly. Trying to arm the government with capabilities to track and disrupt networks before they could act again. Each consequence, as the source shows, directly aimed at preventing another 9/11.
And one aspect that really does set 9/11 apart is how it unfolded live. Right before our eyes.
Yeah, on TV globally, not reported hours later, but happening right then. A shared, horrifying spectacle.
And that live aspect shaped the perception immediately, didn't it?
Immensely. The role of live TV can't be overstated. Our source specifically points to Flight 175 hitting the South Tower. Filmed live, broadcast instantly.
That second plane.
That second plane. It was critical in transforming that initial confusion into undeniable terror. After the first plane, maybe an accident. But seeing that second plane hit live?
No doubt left.
No doubt. Visual confirmation, seen by hundreds of millions. This was deliberate, coordinated terror. The force, the intentionality burned into the collective consciousness.
Solidify the understanding immediately. A malicious, large-scale attack.
A shared global trauma, created in real time by that live broadcast.
Now, given the scale, the shock, the unprecedented nature of it all, it's maybe not surprising, is it? That even decades later, alternative narratives have emerged.
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories, yeah. Trying to explain it differently.
And it's a fascinating, sometimes troubling aspect of how we process catastrophes. Our source addresses this, but with clear impartiality, grounded in facts.
What does it say?
It explicitly states that while al-Qaeda unequivocally took responsibility, and overwhelming evidence from numerous investigations points directly to them.
Right.
Theories claiming internal American involvement have circulated for decades, suggesting the U.S. government allowed it, or worse, orchestrated it.
But the source is clear on refuting those.
Very clear. It states these theories have been disproven repeatedly, comprehensively, by independent investigations.
Like the 9/11 Commission.
Exactly. The 9/11 Commission, expert panels, scientific analyses, journalistic inquiries. They've all examined the evidence. None found any credible basis for those alternative claims.
The evidence points to al-Qaeda.
Consistently and overwhelmingly affirms al-Qaeda's sole responsibility, based on intelligence, eyewitnesses, forensics, confessions from operatives.
So the source includes this to acknowledge the theories exist.
But also to firmly state they've been refuted by evidence-based investigations. It highlights that challenge of misinformation, doesn't it? Especially around events with such profound impact.
Yeah. Underscores the need for critical thinking, relying on vetted information.
Exactly. The source notes their existence but doesn't endorse them, simply points to their refutation.
Okay. So as we bring this deep dive towards a close, it's just abundantly clear, isn't it? September 11th, 2001 cast this long, indelible shadow.
A permanent part of our history, shaping perceptions, policies for generations.
And the effort to remember, to honor, to learn that continues right now.
And how societies choose to remember and honor these moments is so powerful. It ensures the human cost, the significance aren't forgotten.
The memorials.
Yes, our source highlights these tangible acts of remembrance, poignant, powerful memorials at each site. In New York, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum.
A very moving space.
Incredibly moving. At the Pentagon, its own unique memorial. And in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, the Flight 93 National Memorial, honoring that bravery.
Physical spaces for remembrance.
Solemn testaments to lives lost, changes wrought. And beyond the physical, there's the annual commemoration.
Patriot Day. 9/11 Memorial Day.
Yes. Every September 11th, ceremonies across the country. Reading the names, moments of silence, marking the impacts, the collapses, flags at half-staff.
Keeping the memory alive.
And not just as history, but as a day of national remembrance, reflecting on courage, loss, resilience, honoring those who perished, ensuring future generations understand the gravity.
And maybe the most powerful final point the source makes, something that really encapsulates the enduring impact,
What's that?
is that the specter of terrorism became, forevermore, an integral part of our global society's reality.
Yeah, transform from something distant, abstract.
To a palpable, persistent concern, shaping policies, security, even our daily lives in subtle, overt ways. That fundamental shift in perception.
A baseline awareness of potential threats, now just woven into the fabric of things for many people.
So, as you, the listener, reflect on this momentous day, how 9/11 profoundly reshaped global security, individual freedoms, what do you think is the most enduring, maybe unseen shift in our collective behavior?
Yeah.
Or our perspective? What's a change that's become so normal now we barely even notice it anymore?
It's such an important question for all of us to consider, isn't it? How do we, as a global society, keep learning from, keep adapting to events of this magnitude? How do we strive for vigilance, for security?
Without sacrificing essential liberty.
Exactly, without sacrificing that openness that defines so many societies. It's a really complex balance, and it's one that continues to evolve, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into September 11th. We really hope this exploration of the source material has given you a clearer, perhaps more nuanced understanding of a day that truly did transform the world.